What's up, boys? It's your boy Joke, and I'm gonna begin breaking down my Miami offensive ebook. The reason why I chose Miami is mainly for this reason. I form slot. I'm gonna be breaking down a few run plays out of the I form slot versus the popular defenses this year that are really good. So, quick introduction to the ebook. First, I want to tell you guys what my favorite audibles are. For split close two back, it's going to be these four. So it's going to be extract, trail, halfback power O, receiver corners, and PA wide shot. Then we're going to have set audibles out of the strong pro formation. We want to have off tackle, and we want to have PA scissors, which is already there. Then we're going to go to the I form slot. We want to have stretch alert bubble, and we want to have halfback dive alert. Then we're going to go to the Y off formation, and we want to have the 95 Willie. Then we want to go to the I form pro, and we want to have the halfback ISO and the halfback blast. So, quick rundown of why I like this formation. Currently, as you guys know, I am running Stevie's offensive ebook, which is out of the balance formation, and it's more running than passing. This one's a little more passing than running, and people are beginning to get rundy, so it's getting a little harder and harder to run the ball, which is why I've been considering switching to this ebook. And the reason why I really like this is because this is a 2 receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end set. So formations like 1-4-6 dollar, you cannot run those formations versus this because I can audible down, as I'm going to show you in this ebook, and completely annihilate you on the run. So what first thing we want to do is we want to use the strong slot package, because what that's going to do is it's going to get our number 1 receiver in the slot. Then the second thing you want to do is you want to have a receiver in the slot with at least 85 mid route running and 85 deep route running if your player can have both. So for the Patriots, I would preferably like to use Josh Gordon in the slot, because as you guys can tell, he has 86 mid and 86 deep. And what you want to do is you want to put the receiver that you're going to put at slot receiver as your number 1 receiver in the depth chart, because that's the spot that's going to go to the spot on the outside. Then what you want to do is you want to manually sub in the other 2 receivers you're going to use. For the Patriots, it's going to be Philip Dorsett and Demaryius Thomas. And then for fullback and running back, you want to have your 2 best players. So for salary cap, if I was to run this offense, my 2 running backs would for sure be Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson, for the reason being that you're going to utilize the running backs a lot in this formation, because plow flats are so bad, so you can just throw a lot of wheel routes and you can get a lot of yards after the catch, and you can also audible down and get a lot of yards on the run. Then for the outsides, I would you don't really need any type of route running for this. None of those routes need route running, so for salary cap purposes, I would honestly just have the 2 fastest guys you can have for the least amount of cap. So I was actually looking at Mutthead a little bit yesterday. Tyreek Hill, the 33 cap, 90 speed, would for sure be on my team. And then for this spot would probably be whoever is the best receiver in Mutthead. From what I saw was Jerry Rice, because he'd be able to have the spin threshold, which is 82. So now we're going to begin breaking down the split close Miami offensive ebook, which is this. Well, not the ebook, but the main formation. This is what we're going to run most of the game. And I'm going to show you guys how to beat 2 men under, cover 3, cover 1, cover 0, cover 4, all the coverages you can beat out of this. And again, the most important thing about this is if you see a complete passing formation, dollar, 1-4-6, you guys want to make sure you audible down every single time and get these defenders out of these formations, because you do not want to have to play against those formations, and it's the reason why I like this playbook. Alright, boys, we're going to be continuing the split close breakdown in my offensive ebook, and the next play that we'll be showing is mesh. And this play, you always want to run it to the short side of the field. And the reason being is because we're gonna have a concept that people used to use a lot last year in West Coast, which is having a flat route, which is wheel route. And I'm gonna show you guys what it does. Is it you can throw this very quickly, and it's faster than the regular setup that I like to do with the flat and the whip route. I mean with the flat and the wheel route. And also, the routes that we're going to have on the left side of the field are going to be really good against cover two and cover three. So against cover two, I was able to, if I'm able to pass lead, I can pass lead over that cloud. It's a little close, so I wouldn't want to do that. But what I would normally do is against cloud flats, you want to just throw this whip route. Hold on. Against cloud flats, you want to just throw this whip route and take your easy yards. You're going to get 5, and you're going to have a chance to make the defender miss. But what we really want to focus on is just this one running back wheel route. And again, a lot of the plays that I've already shown you guys can run to this side of the field. So this is a great mix-in. As you guys can see, this gets wide open. Right, it's almost like over the middle of the field. It's such a quick read, which is why I like it so much better than the sorry, I just had a brain fart. Than the flat wheel that I like to do. Also, another setup that you can do to the short side of the field is you're gonna hitch X and you're gonna wheel route Y. So what this is gonna do is it's essentially gonna make you have hard flat, cloud flats to both sides of the field. So as you guys can see on that play, I had the left running back wheel open. I had 3 guys open in this play technically. So I'm just gonna show you guys this. Before I got shedded, right? 1, I could throw this route. If you were to user guard that route, then I could throw this route. And then not only that, but I also had this hitch. So I'm gonna show you guys that once again against cover 2. And again, you always want to run this play to the short side of the field. It works best this way, and the reason why it works best this way is because that that corner route is going to get open against cover 3. So as you guys can see, I threw the little hitch. These are the only 2 play setups that I like out of this play, by the way. You're either going to do this or you're going to whip route and block. So now we're going to throw we're going to run cover 2 again, and we're going to throw the wheel route if it's open. And it is, and unfortunately we dropped it. So now we're going to show you that same exact play against cover 3 and against cover 4. So first we're going to run cover 3 hard flats. Let me show you guys the defense so you guys know I'm showing that. And we're going to run mesh, we're going to flip it, and first we're going to do the first setup, which is blocking somebody. And what I wanted to show you guys is that against cover 3, to the short side, you can throw that sharp little corner route. If you run this play to the long side, just going to show you guys, the player is going to match. So this is why we don't run this play to the long side, sorry. So this is against cover 3 hard flats, right? Show you guys the same exact play. 1, the left guy doesn't get as open. And 2, as you guys can see, that DB kind of matches when you run it to the long side. So this play, again, you only want to run to the short side. So this is going to be against cover 3 hard flats, and we're going to run the play with the hitch. So this is what it's going to look like. You guys can see there, I could have threw the hitch, I could have threw the corner out, which I did throw, and I'm pretty sure I also had the running back on the right. So as you can see, that hard flat, I'm going to show you guys that now so you guys can see that as well. Again, we're going to play cover 3 hard flats. Flip this. This is what the setup's going to be. As you guys can see, those hard flats don't do anything versus these wheel routes. And again, Brady can't pass lead, so it's a terrible strategy to show you guys with Brady. So again, do not use Brady if you're going to run this in regs. Now we're basically going to play cloud flats. So against clouds, we can either throw the whip route for the easy 5, or we can throw the running back wheel, and then show you guys this again against clouds. Now we're going to show you guys the other setup that I like, which is going to be X hitch, running back wheel, and then flat route. So here I have the hitch. then show you guys this now against cover 4. So this is going to be cover 4 shade down, and the same thing is going to happen basically against shade down. You want to be able to throw this corner out, and which is why we run it to the short side, because you can just pass this to the outside, and it's a quick, easy dot. If they run clouds, you throw a whip route. If they run hard flats, you throw the the corner. And then if they do hard flat, cloud flat, that's when you want to start mixing in other plays, which is why this offense is so effective. Once again, I'm going to show you guys this now against cover 4 clouds. So you can do either setup. This is what it's going to look like. As you guys can see, that's wide open. And then I'm going to show you guys another play setup that I also like out of this same play. So it's also gonna be to the short side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna motion this guy. So this is what it's gonna look like, right? Against cover 2. Let me make sure it's cover 2. Basically, it's just another way of running buck sail, and we're gonna do that by utilizing this guy's motion. As you guys can see, wide open. This is just another macro play. That's going to work as well against cover 3 and cover 4. And again, you want to have this to the short side because you want to have this post running to the longer side of the field, well, to the short side, but not the longer, sorry. So this is going to be basically another way of running mesh post, or buck sail. And as you guys can see, once again, wide open. And the same thing is going to happen against cover 4. And just a few setups you guys can do for this play is you can basically treat it the same way. If you're playing against a lot of blitzes, you can just put 2 hitches. You can put 2 drags. It doesn't really matter. You don't need any pull out for this, which is why this is so good. And another good thing about this is that when you motion it, it's also unbumpable. So if they're playing a lot of man presses, it would be a great play to beat man. But again, you're not going to play against too much man coverage in this playbook because they're going to have to be stopping the run, and man's really bad against stopping the run. So this is my 4th favorite play out of this. Just show you guys one more time. If you ask me what my favorite setup, it would probably be this because it attacks both sides of the field so well. And you can't really get a blitz a lot in this offense because there's so many routes that you have to pay attention to. So again, this is one of my favorite formations, especially passing wise. Alright boys, the third play that we'll be breaking down out of the split close Miami is going to be the play called X drag trail. Our main setup is going to be similar to the play action play. It's going to be hitch X, flat route B, wheel route the running back. The only difference is that this route gets open quicker, and you can throw this right over the middle of the field. So it's better against blitzes than if you're max protecting because you're only blocking 1. So I'll show you guys here. I could probably throw that hitch, but we have the running back wheel, so we're gonna throw that. Then I'm gonna show you guys that that post gets just as open as the play action play. The only difference is that you can throw it over the middle of the field quicker, and you can also lead pass it to the outside. I mean, when it gets to the sideline, and sorry, number 59 decided to be Lawrence Taylor. Show you guys this one more time. So this is what it's going to look like. We're going to block that running back. As you guys can see, I can throw that right there. And the reason why you can throw that is hitches this year are the best pull route for any post, corner, basically any route. And you can also low ball them, so they're actually really, really good routes because 1, they're a great pull route, and 2, they're actually a great route you can throw. But as you guys can see, usually this yellow would guard more around here, and it wouldn't let you throw this post so quickly. But since there's a hitch, look what the hitch does. The hitch basically makes 2 guys guard them, and it leaves the backside route, the post, wide open. So that's going to be my main play setup. I'm going to show you guys that same play setup against cover 3. and the same thing is gonna happen. Here I'm gonna throw the running back wheel. Show you guys this against cover 3 again. And Brady's inability of lead passing is amazing, but as you guys can see, he is once again wide open. I'm going to show you that again against cover 4. So we have the wheel, and then we have that post that you can just throw. This post, the way I like to throw it is I like to lead pass it to the left. The reason why I like to lead pass it is so that safety can't make a play on it. So again, if you're going to run this offense, I wouldn't suggest using this offense in regs with Brady, because this offense does require a lot of pass leading, and Brady has an ability again that just doesn't work properly, and it doesn't let you lead pass. So this is against cover 2. You can just throw that up the middle quickly. Now I'm going to show you guys this play against cover 4. Same play setup. Motion this guy. The reason why you also want to always motion this guy is because you want to basically make all the plays look the same. You don't want to have a tell for your offense. The reason why Skimble's offenses are always really, really hard to stop is because he makes all his plays look the same. So, and the way he utilizes that is by motion. So we're going to want to do the same thing. So as you guys can see, we have the wheel. We also have the crosser. So that was against cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. We'll show you this play against man. So against man, our reads are going to be this low ball hitch. I do that a little too early. You want to throw the low ball hitch. Let me show you guys again. You guys want to throw the low ball hitch once he's already turned around, because if not, you're going to get a lot of bad animations. So once again, show you this. You're going to just be able to, I'm just getting terrible animations, but as you guys can see, if there's ever a man, you can low ball that hitch every single time. Show you guys that same pace setup against man, and the A post is going to get wide open against it, as you guys can see. So that's my favorite play setup out of that. Now I'm going to show you guys a few other play setups that I like out of this. We'll show this first against cover 2. The first play setup we're going to do is we're going to run this play just like this. Sorry about that. I was looking at my phone, but we're going to have a hitch, a curl, and then we're going to leave that post. You can also do that same exact setup against cover 3 and cover 4. It's a little better against cover 3 and cover 4 because the whatchamacallit is really good. That curl, you guys can see it just sits in the middle of the field perfectly. Show you guys that in cover 4 where there's going to be yellow. I'll even make sure to click off the yellow to make sure that you guys see that this does get open. So there, I would throw the post. I actually messed up, and this is the reason why you want to have a hitch on this play. So let me just show you guys what happened there. I had a drag, and as you guys can see, since I don't have a zone here to pull this route, this looked a little cloudy to throw because this linebacker is able to actually go back there and guard a route. So like that's why I like having this hitch, because it just does a good job of pulling down the zones. So this is how I like to run this play, and you're just gonna make the read. You guys can see like now that post is just wide open. Another thing is you also want to wheel out the running back. You don't want to keep this stock running back route. I just forgot to do that the last play. Another thing you can do is if you're playing against a lot of people who blitz cover 0, you can just have 2 hitches and you can basically leave that little post. And I can't see any route because I'm engaging with the lineman. So let me just go back to this guy. Another play setup that I really like out of this play is we're going to streak X and we're going to drag B and we're going to motion them to the left. And the reason why I like this play is because it basically gives us another like bug sale type look. And this route usually still gets wide open. Let me the reason why I didn't get open is because they pressed my other guy. Let me just show you guys this against baseline. So we're going to streak X, we're going to drag B. This is what it's going to look like. and we're gonna throw that, or we're gonna lead passes up over that cloud. This will work against cover 3 and cover 4. I'll show you guys this against cover 3. And as you guys can see, the post still gets wide open. Then run this against cover 4 as well. Let me make sure to press. This is what the play is going to look like. And as you guys can see, still gets over the purples. Again, if you see those linebackers there, I promise you can just throw that. Linebackers this year, don't think anything like that. Another thing that you can do out of this play against cover 3, and I believe cover 4 as well, if press. So this play, you can just leave it stock if you want to bomb cover 3. And as you guys can see, easy way to bomb cover 3. And the good thing about this too is that it gives you a different way to bomb cover 3. So like if you do the previous bomb that I showed you guys out of receiver corners, what a lot of people are gonna do is they're gonna run cover 3, and to stop it, they're gonna invert this outside cornerback. So what that's gonna do is, one, leave the corner out open, but it's gonna stop the bomb. So if you do that and you do this bomb, it doesn't matter. You can still bomb it. And again, if you use a different quarterback that's not Brady, that's a much easier throw. So that's definitely something I would mix in against cover 3. I don't think it works too well against cover 4. Just show you guys. And the reason being, like, you can kind of throw it, but I mean, I guess you could throw it. It's a little tougher throw, but if your quarterback isn't Brady, I guess you could also bomb cover 4. Just show you guys that one more time. And he did actually get over the cover 4. I just, Brady can't pass lead. Then let me show you this play against man. You could just do something like this. You can do double hitches. Just want to show you guys, that route completely beats man really bad. Another thing too is against this formation, you don't really have to play against too much man, because they're going to be using a lot of defenses that's like linebackers on the field. So the linebackers are going to be guarding receivers a lot. So you don't have to really worry about man too often in this. And I'm going to be breaking down a few more plays, but those are definitely my 3 favorites. Alright boys, now we're going to be showing down the receiver corners play, which is also a play that I broke down in the tip section. I only showed one setup, and here I'm going to show all the setups that I like. So first, against cover 2, I want to show the first setup, which is just we're going to streak to the slot, and we're going to go out both running backs, and you always want to motion this guy to the side, and you can bomb cover 2 with this very easily. Let me show you guys this. If you have a fast guy here, you can bomb cover 2 quite easily. And I'm going to show you guys why you can do that. And again, Brady is a terrible person to lead past anything with, so I can't lead passes inside. So I'm just going to show you guys that it's open. The reason why I picked Brady for this ebook is because I am going to break these formations down with out hands. And just to show you guys in case you guys want to use corner. But the reason why this gets wide open is because, as you guys can see, the safety, both the guards is corner. And technically, if you have a good quarterback, that's not Brady. Ironic enough, the greatest quarterback ever is not a good quarterback in Madden. If you leave passes inside the safety, he's not going to be able to make a play on it. So it is going to be a free touchdown. So that same setup is going to bomb cover 3 as well. But just going to show you guys. So against clouds, you guys want to throw these wheel routes. Again, I've said this enough times that I think you guys should already know this. Clouds are the worst zone in the game. It's not even close. So against coverage clouds, you want to just be able to throw these wheel routes. As you guys can see, another easy 10 yards. If they play coverage in our class, you want to throw these corner routes. This is this play right here, this setup. I like running to the long side, and the reason being is because of this corner. It's going to get over the cloud, I mean the hard flats, and it's going to be easier to bomb. You can't bomb to the short side of this play. So you have to just automate the read. As you guys can see, the last play I showed the hard flat. This play I'm showing hard flat again. It's really easy to read. So technically to stop this play, you would need 2 hard flats and 2 cloud flats. So this is another way that I like running this play. If you're playing somebody who's blitzing a lot, you can hitch A, and you can it's still going to be the same read. If you see hard flats, you're going to throw the corners. Basically, what the hitch is going to do is just going to give you another quick option to throw. So like, let's just say something like this. They do something like this where I'm so sorry. Stupid battery keeps coming off. Just want to show you guys like what people will try to do versus you. This is why I like to implement the hitches. So they're gonna do something like this. Your play is gonna look like this. You're gonna add the hitch, and the defense is gonna do something like this, where since they're lurking the left side of the field, they're gonna put a hard flat. And what they're going to do is they're going to guard the corner. So when that happens, this gives you a quick read to the right slot receiver. So you can definitely implement hitches. Hitches, again, are really good, especially if you lowball them. Another setup that I like to do is, so this is to the long side of the field, and you're going to wheel route this running back, and you're going to drag A. And technically what this does is it gives you the same look. You have to have 2 hard flats and 2 cloud flats to stop this play. Because if you don't, let's say, just say you go like this, right? And you just have 2 hard flats, you're going to be able to throw the wheel route, or you'll be able to throw the drag. And then if they do hard flats, then you can just do the opposite. So as you guys can see, I can throw this drag for 5 easy yards. And if they have a hard flat, we'll run the same play setup. If they have a hard flat, I'm just going to be able to throw the corner route. You always want to motion this corner, and the reason being is because you're going to be able to bomb cover 3. So another play setup I like out of this is now we're going to whip route A, we're going to block the running back, and this is also to the long side. And technically what this does is it also makes you have 2 hard flats, 2 cloud flats, and you're able to block somebody. So somebody's, let's just say, doing this a lot, and they're standing 6 out of cover 2. You'll be able to block the blitz and make sure that they have short routes and deep routes. And basically, it's just getting accustomed to the reads. There's a lot of little quick baby routes out of this. So especially for mud, it's going to be really easy to get in the zone with quarterbacks. So again, something like this, you just got to make the read. If you guard, let's just say, like, I'm going to show you guys a quick replay. Let's just say the user, this is the way I like to read this play, and basically any play. You look where the user goes. If the user was to go guard this whip, then I move my eyes to the left side of the field, and then I'm going to throw this wheel route. Let's just say now that they guard this whip, and then you see that the safety's in the cornerback's in a hard flat, then you're going to throw the corner. If this user goes to guard the wheel route, then you're just going to throw the whip. Let's see, another play setup that I like out of this is, again, to the long side, and we're going to drag X, we're going to streak A, and we're going to motion this guy to the left. And basically what this is like Bucks there Mesh Pros from last year, and you can throw this right over the middle, and it's also going to have an underneath route. So if they use your guard the underneath route, that you can just throw the little drag. And the good thing too about the drag is that it's also going to the long side of the field. So another play setup I like out of this is you can do this. You can hitch A. You can hitch X. I'm sorry. This is going to be what it's going to look like. And your reads are going to be wide open hitch low ball. The wheel, if they play hard flat to the corner. So there's a ton of stuff that you can do with this play, especially the main one being either this or this or this for this. So now we're going to show you all these plays against cover 3 and then against cover 4. This play is actually really hard and to stop. The reason being is because it attacks the side of the field so well. So I would mix up this play a lot. What I technically do is I start off the game running that play a lot until I start seeing them put a lot of zones to guard the wheel routes and the corners. So now this is against cover 3, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to show you guys, let me move back a little bit so I can try to, well, I'm going to show you guys that I can bomb it, but again, Brady can't pass lead, so I'm not going to be able to actually show you guys this, but the setup is going to be the same thing. We're going to motion, and this guy is usually going to be wide open if I can lead pass to the right side of the field, but the greatest quarterback ever cannot lead pass in Madden because EA just did a great job with the game. Just show you guys a quick replay, and I'll show you guys why it happens. So this corner, as you guys can see, just bit to guard the corner out, and as you guys can see now, if Brady was able to pass lead, you would be able to pass lead this to the right and score an easy touchdown. But Madden. So first we're going to show you guys this against Cloud Flats. Streak A. I wish I could streak them. Okay, we're going to streak A. So against Cloud Flats, the read is simple. You guys want to throw these wheel routes and get to easy 5 every single time. Show you guys the left one to the clouds. Actually, I accidentally put hard flats and I couldn't really press that. So I was supposed to do a corner out there, but so here you just got to make the read. Again, Brady cannot lead pass, so do not use Brady and regs. For some reason, that cloud flat is playing like a hard flat, so you're just gonna have to make the read. As you guys can see, though, this guy does get open, but since Brady can't pass lead, he throws it directly to him, which is why the defense was able to make a play. So, I mean, if you're gonna play regs, I would run this play. I would run this playbook with no route chems. Again, I'm gonna show you a ton of plays with route chems. But for like regs purposes, since Brady is just so bad, I wouldn't use them. Show you guys all the plays again. So now we're just gonna run cover 3 hard flats, and we're gonna run this play, which is this is my second favorite setup out of this, especially because it blocks a running back. So again, if I can pass lead that every single time, it's gonna be wide open. But Brady is just a wonderful quarterback. And we're going to show you guys this play setup. You guys can see, just throw the whip for easy 5. You always want to motion the corner. And the reason why you want to motion the corner is because you can throw this route sometimes to like the outside if they don't have purples. That was a purple, so I wasn't able to throw it, but you can sometimes throw that. And honestly, the best reason is because you can bomb cover 3 with it. So again, you can do this too. You can have a hitch. Against cover 3, the hitch is actually, so like, you guys see this? If I was to low ball that, it's gonna get picked, right? If that defender is behind them, so like, let's say I shade up. So now, since I shaded up, that defender is probably gonna play behind them, as you guys can see, and you guys can throw that low ball. So the hitches are very effective. I'll show you guys the hitch again with the same play setup that I like out of this play, which is this right here. And you're gonna motion this dude. So if the DB, the linebacker DB is not directly in front of them, you can throw these hitches a lot. So just showing you guys all these plays against. See right there, he's going to pick it because the guy's not shaded up or down, but if you shade up, it's going to be wide open. Now let me show you guys this play against cover 4. And when you guys practice this, I would advise practicing this without Brady so you guys can get used to pass leading, because a lot of these routes are not looking open, but I promise they're wide open because you're going to be able to lead pass them. And so first, we'll start off with the regular one. The only bad thing about this play is that you can't you can't whatchamacallit, you can't bomb cover 4. So if you're playing somebody who runs a lot of cover 4, I would I would rather this setup, or you can put them on an in, which is like this. You can put them on whatever you want, but like against cover 4, hitches are really good. As you guys can see, I'm just gonna show you the hitches are really good against cover 4. I'm just gonna leave the purples. I'm gonna turn them into clouds. So like hitches are really good. I'll show you guys the other play setups that I like, which is gonna be drag A, wheel route RB. Bullet pass inaccurate, wide open. Best quarterback to ever play the game. Can't throw a drag. Boy. Show you guys this once again. So for this play again, the reason why I like this play is the only way to stop this play is have hard flats and cloud flats. And it's just not something that anybody wants to do, especially because the zones are so bad this year. It's like, why would you have 4 terrible zones? It's the easy 5. I also get to do the corner out. So those are the ways that I like to run receiver corner without route chems. So let me show the play. There you go. And once again, Brady shows his amazing bullet pass lead. So those are my favorite 2 plays. It's going to be P and Y shot and receiver corners because they attack different sides of the field so perfectly. And now I'm going to be showing you guys a few other plays that I like out of the 2-back. Alright boys, it's your boy Joke again, and we're going to continue my offensive ebook. And the formation we're going to begin breaking down is a gun split close Miami formation, which is going to be the most used formation we run in this. And we're going to start off with the best pass play in the game. I'm going to show you guys this against cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, and most of the coverages that people like to run. So, excuse me, if you have the tip section, then you know that this play is basically like bug sale. The A route and the X route, both the crossers are unguardable and they don't get guarded by any zones. So to start off, we're going to start off with the first play, which is going to be bug sale from last year. Well, it's not the first play, it's just the first setup. And the setup is very simple. We're going to streak the slot, we're going to drag B, and you always want to block that running back. You don't want to keep the play action. And what you're going to do is you're going to motion snap this drag. As you guys can see, that drag is open. Now the crosser's also open. So basically, I would throw that drag every single time if it's open to make sure that people start leaving that crosser open. Excuse me. To show you guys a quick replay, the drag right here is open, and then you have to wait for this crosser to get over clouds, and then that's also wide open. Let me flip my formation and show you guys that this works to both sides of the field. If you ask me for my preference, would I rather run it to the long side or the short side? I would rather run it to this side. For the reason being is because the drag is going to have more room to get yards, because the drag is going to the longer side of the field and the crosser is going to the shorter side of the field. So you'll be able to throw it quicker. So that's the first setup I like versus cover 2. The second setup is we're going to streak X, drag B, and now we're going to have the same crosser. It's just going to the opposite side of the field. And again, if the drag is open, always hit the drag. But just for this video, just for the ebook purposes, I do want to show you guys the route that's going to be really, really good, which is going to be the crosser. So again, show you guys the same play setup. In a regular game, if you're playing, just want to show you guys that this does get over every cloud. If you're playing somebody in a real game, obviously you always want to take your checkdowns and make them, basically guard the checkdowns. But just want to show you guys that this is unstoppable versus any cloud in the game. Show you guys again, this play I would also prefer running it to the long side, to the short side of the field. The reason being is because the drag is going to go to the longer side of the field, so you'll be able to get more yards on the drag than basically if you run it the opposite way. So if you ask me for my preference, I would rather run this way. The reason being is because 1, this route's a little easier to throw when it's going to the long side, and then 2, you'll be able to get more yards on the drag. So that's against cover 2. Again, another setup that I like is this is if you don't want a max pro. We're gonna streak X. We're gonna flat the outside receiver. Excuse me again. And we're gonna wheel route the running back. And if you guys watch me play at all, then you guys know that, especially in tight flex, I love to basically do this little route setup where I have a flat and a wheel. And the reason being is because I like to get my running backs involved, and I like having to make the defense account for the running back. Because personally, that's the one thing that I even struggle playing defense against. Is anybody who uses the running backs really well, it kind of gives me trouble because I hate having to man up a running back. So again, show you guys this once more. And this is a play that I would only run to the long side of the field. And the reason being is because you want to have the wheel route going to the long side of the field. Just show you guys a quick, quick reason why. If I ran that same exact play, right, just go like this, it's not going to work as good because the running back is going to kind of run into the flat. So let's just show you guys. You see how like the running back kind of runs into the flat and the cloud is able to guard both. So I wouldn't like to run it that way. Another setup that you can do is if you're getting blitzed a lot. So like let's say somebody's running a defense like this, which is show blitz. You can put 2 pitches on the field and you can just choose whichever one is open. The great thing about this is that the A crosser doesn't need any pull route. Just gonna show you guys a quick. Let's just show you guys what I mean. So like if I have a hitch, it won't matter, right? If I have a hitch, the A crosser is still gonna get wide open. If I drag X, the crosser is still gonna get wide open. So you don't need any pull route to make sure that this crosser gets open, which is why I think this is the best play in the game. I don't think there's anything else in the game that does that. As you guys can see, just going to show you guys the intro replay. This is comical. There's 2 zones on the left side of the field that are literally standing there and not doing an absolute thing. Just look at this. What is this guy doing? Nothing. What is this guy doing? Nothing. There's 2 players just staring at the quarterback, throwing wide open crosser. So you can get real creative with this play. You can do this. You can do this. I mean, even if you wanted to, you can do 2 drags. And again, that crosser is still gonna get open. As you guys can see, no zone in the game will guard that crosser. They have to manually guard it. That crosser is actually also gonna beat man. So if they're running a lot of man, a setup I like is 2 whips. I guess since after the patch, they patched whips so they don't get it open anymore. So if that's the case, then I would just do this. If they're running a lot of man. And the motion drag is always going to be man, and so is the crosser. You guys can see both of them are wide open. So that's what I like to do versus cover 2 and man. Also, if they run man, the crosser to the left side, this guy will also get open. Just gonna have to lead past that. So that's what I like to do at a cover 2 versus cover 2 and man. Now let me show you guys versus cover 3. And all the play setups are going to be the same. Every play setup that works against cover 2 works against cover 3 in this. So the play setups are going to remain the same. You can do 2 hitches, you can do a streak and a drag, you can do the running back wheel route, you can do literally anything that you want to do with this play, which is again why I think it's the best play in the game. So first is going to show you guys the standard setups, which is just the drag and the crosser. And as you guys can see, wide open. That's to the crossers going to the short side of the field. Now we're going to show you with the crosser going to the right side of the field. You always want to motion the drag, by the way, because it's going to get more separation on man. And as you guys can see, once again, wide open. So that was to the slot guy. Now we're going to show you the crosser to the outside guy. So again, same thing. It's basically buck sale to 2 different guys. And once again, wide open. Show you guys this now to the short side of the field. So basically, when I say short side of the field and long side of the field, it means that these two receivers right here, these two receivers are going to the long side of the field because they're on the long side of the field. So if I say short side of the field, that means they're this way. So now we're going to show you this to the short side of the field, which is again how I would prefer running this play. And the reason being is because this gets open so much quicker. Now we're going to show you the other play setups that we like to mix in, which is this one. I love this one. Also, another thing that you can do with this play setup against cover 2 as well is, let's say that they're blitzing a lot, you can hitch. You can do this because again, you don't need a pull route, so this gives you an extra quick read. So if let's just say they're in clouds or hard flats, the hitch gives me an extra little read that I can use to low ball. Low ball and hitches are really effective in this game, especially against man. So if you see like a defender in back of you, like right here, I wouldn't be able to throw it. But if that defender was being back of me, I would be able to throw it. You could also do this. You can just run double hitches. If you like if you think they're running a lot of blitzes, you can run double hitches. So like here, you can just low ball that, and as you guys can see, I was able probably to score a touchdown. Yeah, I was able to score a touchdown because of the low ball hitch. Especially when you get that animation, you're going to get a lot of yards on it. Let me show you guys that again. So you just make the read, the hitch is wide open, and you get an easy 5 yards. So what I like to do is I low ball the hitch or lead pass down. The way you're going to do that is you're going to hold left trigger and the left stick down. See if there's any other. Well, let me show you guys this now against cover 4. And we'll start off with buck sail, which is just a drag and a crosser. And as you guys can see, once again, wide open. Let me flip it, run it to both sides of the field to make sure that you guys do see that this does work to both sides of the field. And it's why I like this formation so much, because it's universal. You can run plays flipped, you can run plays not flipped. There's certain plays that work better flipped, and there's certain plays that don't. And obviously the defense doesn't know that, but the offense does. So it gives you, I feel like you can control the game running this offense. You kind of dictate the way the game goes, not the defense. Now we're going to show you guys the slot crosser. And once again, wide open. You also have the drag wide open. Let me show you guys now with this flip. And once again, wide open. And now let me show you the other play setups that I also like about this. So you can flat route the outside receiver, wheel route the running back. You can streak or hitch X, whatever you want. Really all preference. Here you have the running back. Brady's terrible. Usually I like to lead pass that inside, so like I'm gonna try to lead pass it just to show you. Brady has an ability right now that is like lead pass, lead or something, and it doesn't work properly, so he makes lead passing actually really bad. But like against this, you usually could lead pass right, but as you guys can see, Brady's just gonna lead pass terribly, so it's a bad way to show you. And then you can do this if you like. This is gonna get the drag wide open. So this is all the setups that I like to do at a PAY shot. Again, I think it's the best pass play in the game, and I don't think it's even close. Alright boys, now I'm going to be breaking down the split close Miami book with route camps. And this is where this formation becomes really good and becomes the best passing formation in Madden. And we're going to start off the same exact way that we started off the regular plays, and it's going to be the PAY shot. And the setup that I like to do with route camps is we're going to do this. So we're going to drag X, we're gonna wheel route the running back, and we're gonna corner route B. And then basically what this is gonna do is it's just gonna get you can need a hard flat, cloud flat to the right side of the field, but an unguardable route and a drag. So again, this is what it's gonna look like. So it's just gonna show you guys my reads in this in cover 2. You can hit this drag. If they run cover 2 hard flats, you can hit the corner. And you can also, I'm gonna show you guys something here. This corner is also gonna get over clouds. So like you can pass these up, and as you guys can see, it gets over clouds. This play in general, I would like to run it to the longer side, and then we can also throw this crosser, and it's as you guys already know, that crosser is unguardable. So that's one of my favorite setups for route camps. And if you guys were telling me if I was to play salary cap M20 tomorrow, I would be running this with 2 route cams on the outside. So that's going to be, let me show you guys that same exact play against cover 3 and against regular cover 4. So as you guys can see, it's cover 3 cloud. We have the running back wheel. Show you guys this. Again, you also want to run this play to the long side. You'll be able to throw this quick drag right over the middle. And the reason why I like wheel routes here is because they like kind of one, they suck down the zones, but well, they suck up the zones for drags to get open. And not only that, but they actually act as blockers after you throw the ball. And then let me show you, if I shake down, you can throw these corner routes. You guys can see, and then all being you guys still have the unstoppable post that I've already showed in this, in this ebook. So this is definitely the best play for route camps for this play. And you guys can see, boom, wide open. Another thing, just gonna break down all the plays that I like in route camps all in one video here. So if you're running receiver corner, the only difference that you're going to make to it is that instead of having that regular corner, you're going to hot route a corner to the right side. And the reason being is because it's going to get over clouds easier than the other corner, because the other corner is a little slower and you have to motion it. If you use this offense, you don't have to motion if you're using route camps, you don't have to motion the receiver to bomb. I'm going to show you guys. If you just hot route this guy on a regular corner route, you'll still be able to bomb him, and you won't have to motion. As you guys can see, even with Brady, that's going to be wide open, which is why route camps in this offense are just so good. So for this kind of play, you could, it's going to be the same setups as the one that I showed. The only difference is going to be that you're going to hot route this guy on a corner route, and that corner route is going to be a lot better because A, it's deeper. So like I can throw this over clouds, and B, I don't have the motion, so it's a lot easier when I don't have the motion because it lets you quick hike the offense. So once again, show you guys this play with route cams, and again, you have to make sure that you hot route that outside receiver on the corner. Another thing that you can do out of receiver corner is this is one of my favorite plays. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to drag A and you're going to put B on a post and you're going to motion them out. So what this does is you have a post over the middle of the field and then you have a drag going to the left side. So let me just show you guys what this would look like in the replay. You have 3 routes, right? So this drag, if they don't have a hard flat, you're just always going to throw this drag. If the outside corner is in a hard flat, you're going to throw this corner. Now, if they have a cloud flat and they use your guard, the drag, you're going to throw the backside post. So once again, let me show you guys that. This is what it's going to look like. We're going to do this play out of receiver corner. And for this post, I almost like to almost let them set, because I like them to run that route lot deeper than the drag, so it's harder to bait both of them. So now let me show you guys another play. we're gonna run receiver corner again, and we're gonna corner route the slot guy. We're gonna drag X, and it's basically the same exact play, but now we're gonna utilize motion for it. So this is what it's gonna look like, and as you guys can see, the whatchamacallit is gonna be wide open. Let me just show you guys what this looks like against cover 2, because that's the slot does get open if he doesn't get bumped. So we're gonna run receiver corner. This is what it's gonna look like. For the receiver corner, you do not want to motion. You want to motion this guy and leave him on that little post. This is what it's gonna look like. And as you guys can see, the corner gets over clouds. So now let me show you that same exact play against cover 3. We'll do cover 3 hard flats. First, we'll do receiver corner, the one I just showed you guys. Remember, this is what it's going to look like. Make sure you let this guy almost set. Like that's exactly how you want it. And you're going to just make the read. Now let me show you the play I just showed you before against cover 3 hard flats. And that play is going to be, again, receiver corner. We're going to motion, we're going to drag X, corner out A, and then we're going to motion this guy to the left. So this is going to be a great complementary play for the play I showed you guys, where you're going to, where you're going to motion the receiver left on like the buck sail to the slot. Another play that's going to be really good is now you can do stuff like this. So you can make your own plays essentially. So if you do stuff like this, now this is basically if the last play I broke down without the route cams, you needed to run corner routes to the short side of the field to get them open. If you're using route cams, you can do a play like this. And basically make your own play. We're just gonna streak the outside receiver. I'm gonna show you guys this against cover 3 hard flats. We're gonna streak the outside receiver, and we're just gonna corner the slot receiver, and this corner is gonna get open against cover 3. Now, if I can't lead pass, so don't even like really pay attention to that. Now, if I ran that same exact play, I'm gonna run that same exact play out of halfback wheel. Show you guys this play, halfback wheel. We're gonna run cover 3 hard flats. You guys can see cover 3 hard flats. I'm gonna run the same exact play, and I'm gonna you see that corner is not good. So once I throw it, that DB is basically just gonna make a play to pick it every time. Now if I put my own corner, then it's gonna get open. So again, I'll show you guys this play. Cover 3 hard flats. Now it's the same exact play. The only difference is that I manually put a corner out, and as you guys can see, now it gets open and now I can throw it. So let me go back to showing you guys a few more plays that I like. And we're gonna pick this play right here, PAF slide. And I'll show you guys this against cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. And what we're gonna do is it's basically, I guess we can do it out of receiver corner, honestly. But you can just do this. Alright, we're gonna do it out of receiver corner. So we're gonna wheel route both running backs. We're gonna post the slot receiver, and then we're gonna corner the outside receiver, because again, you want to make sure that when you have route cams, you want to make sure you re-corner that outside receiver, because the corner is a lot better. So it's all preference. All right, you can either do this out of this play. If you like this post more than this post, then you run it out of this. Personally, I would run this play out of PAF slide, because I think this post is easier to throw over the middle, and it's a little harder for the zones to guard. So personally, I would say PAF slide. But like if you wanted to just make your own plays, like let's say you're playing with Kurt Warner and Mutt, you can just do this out of receiver corner. And now not only do they have to do they have to have 2 hard flats to cloud flats, but now they also have to have a route over the middle to guard your post. Another thing you can do is you can run any play. You're gonna max pro, and you're gonna You're gonna streak the left outside receiver. Wish I could do this. We're gonna why is he not going on a route? I'm so confused. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna put the slot receiver on a post. We're gonna streak X, and this route is much better than the play I broke down. Like much better. So with route chems, obviously this offense is 600 times better. And if you're playing salary cap or I would suggest using route chems. So basically, it's going to be the play that I already broke down out of in like regs, basically. But this post is just going to be so much better. So it's just another way of running buck sail. And then this also, you can run buck sail with the outside receiver. And you can do this out of any play. Here I'm basically just showing you all the plays you can make. This is buck sail from last year, like literally buck sail. And you can throw this right over the middle. So what I basically was doing in regs was showing you guys a way to run to all these plays in regs without being able to make them. So like this right here would be a really good play. Really good play. Like it attacks every side of the field. It attacks the middle of the field. It attacks the sideline of the field. So if I were you guys, I would again I would probably use this with route chems. It makes it really hard to stop. You have buck sail to two different receivers. You have unstoppable crosser with a drag, a running back wheel, a corner that gets over every single cloud. And then you can also, if they're blitzing a lot, so let's just say you're playing somebody who blitzes 7 every down, which this year is something a lot of people do. The only adjustment I would tell you to make to all these plays is if you're playing somebody who just sends 7 every single down, just going to show you guys. So hard flats, right? Hard flats supposed to stop table routes. So if you're playing somebody who sends 7 every down, instead of putting your running backs on wheel routes, I want you to put them on table routes. And the reason being is because you can throw these a lot quicker without ever throwing an interception. So like, I'm going to just press. I'm going to blitz everyone just to show you guys this. I'm going to have a hard flat, and if I make a bad read, the guy's never going to pick it. And that right there happens a lot, where the DB goes to pick it and just falls. So again, if you're playing somebody who blitzes a lot, I would set up the plays like this. Instead of having wheel routes, I would suggest having table routes, because if you do make a bad read, you can quick snap this right here. As you guys can see, that was a hard flat, by the way, just gave up 5 yards. You can quick snap, you can quick throw these table routes with no fear of ever being intercepted. And they also work effective against clouds. They don't get as many yards against clouds, but they're just as effective. So that was just a quick little rundown of how I would set up most of my plays with route chems. I'm going to show you guys a whole bunch scheme, but only route chems that I think is also really good in salary cap and money. Alright boys, it's your boy Joke, and the first thing that I'm going to be showing you guys out of my Miami offensive ebook is all the effective run plays that I like versus all the popular defensive formations that people run this year. The first thing that we're going to be breaking down is the runs against 1-4-6. As you guys know, I broke this down in my defensive ebook. This is exactly what it looks like. So against this, if you want to audible down to, let's say, strong eye off tackle, so if these safeties get brought down into the box, more times than not, right here, Carter is going to shoot the gap, and as you guys can see, he's going to basically stop the dive out of strong eye. So what we're going to want to do against that look, we're going to audible down again. We're going to run the same exact defense, bring the safeties down. So if you play against 1-4-6 and you want to run dive, you want to motion this outside receiver to right outside the left tackle so he can pick up that blocker. And as you guys can see, you get backside blocking, so that run becomes much more effective. Show you guys another quick replay. So in the first video, if I don't motion that guy, the guy that number 10 picks up is usually the guy that comes free. But as you can see with that motion, he picks him up and lets you get some yards. Audible down again. Again, another thing too is you always want to for this little scheme for two back and all the other under center stuff, you always want to come out in the I form. I mean in the shotgun two back, because it's going to make people want to play pasty. So this is actually one of my favorite run plays against the 146 is this off tackle. As if I don't get cheddar there, it's a touchdown. I'm going to show you guys this again, but this run is very, very effective against off tackle. Bring the safeties down again. Run off tackle, and as you guys can see, if that player makes a block in a safety, it's going to be a touchdown a lot of the time. So that's how you want to run this little strong eye approach game against 146. Show you guys once again. As you guys can see, if my fullback picks up that block, or if I have more stick and I cut it to the left side instead of the right side, it's a touchdown. So that's how you basically the little motioning stuff you want to do against 146. Against dollar, you're just gonna audible down and quick hike the run, either run, because dollar doesn't give you the threat of being able to shoot the backside gap like could have sworn I picked dollar. Okay, since I did, I'm just gonna show you guys the alignment of 2-3-6, which is technically the same thing as dollar. But so this is exactly what dollar looks like. You can just audible down against dollar and just mash A as quick as you can, and just hike this as quick as you can, because again, that left end isn't gonna shoot the gap like he does in 146. So you're just gonna audible down and mash A and call hike as quick as you can, and then as you guys can see, show you guys again the same setup. Off tackle is going to be really effective against this as well. The fullback just missed his block. So against dollar, you want to just quick snap the dive or the off tackle. Then I'm going to show you guys against 3-4 show blitz. We're out of cover 2. So 3-4 show blitz, we're going to treat the same as if it's 146. If I just call hike here on the dive, if I just run the dive, that left end is usually going to come free and shoot the gap and hit me in the backfield. So again, we're going to treat it like it's 146, and we're going to motion the outside receiver, or we're going to run off tackle. So as you guys can see, it's exactly how I showed my ebook. If you want to run dive, you're going to motion Gordon right to the same spot as you do in 146. He's going to pick up that blocker. There he missed him, but as you guys can see in the previous video, in the previous replay, the end came free. There it wasn't an end, it was just an outside linebacker because my outside receiver missed his block. So again, show you, gonna motion Gordon right in front of the outside linebacker so he can pick him up. And there, for some reason, he didn't pick him up, but we were still able to score a touchdown. And then now we're gonna show you the off tackle. For the off tackle, you never have to motion it. And also these run plays work the same flipped. So off tackle, same thing happens, another easy touchdown, and then again I have terrible stick. Just going to show you guys that the same thing happens if you run it flipped. Again, same principles. If you run it flipped, the only difference you want to do is if you run it flipped is you want to you want to make sure the dive always goes to the right. So if you're playing with a right-handed quarterback, you want to make sure your run play goes to the right. If you're playing with a left-handed quarterback, you want to make sure the dive goes to the left. So here it's flipped. So I'm going to make sure the dive goes to the right. And I'm running dive, so you want to motion this guy to the same side. And as you guys can see, you get blocking again and another touchdown. And the off tackle, you can just run it to the left. So that's how I like to run it against 3-4 show blitz or 146. So if they do this, this isn't show blitz, right? Since the linebackers aren't at the line of scrimmage, I'm sorry, this battery keeps falling off my other controller. If you see this look and the linebackers aren't on the line of scrimmage, you can run dive without having to motion because the guy's not going to shoot the gap. He's just going to, the end won't shoot the gap. The outside linebacker's going to shoot the gap, but if the outside linebacker shoots the gap, it doesn't matter because he's never going to hit you in the backfield. So then what we're going to do is now we're going to just run random play. And then I'm going to audible down just to the strong guy and then tell you, like, against that look, what I would prefer. So against this look, since there's more players on the right side of the field than the left side of the field, I would just prefer dive, and I would try to cut it to the left side of the field. We're going to show this against 5 random plays. Just tell you guys what I would do. So against this look, now there's less people on the right side of the field than the right side of the field. So there's less people to the right side of the field than the left side of the field. So I would run off tackle. As you guys can see, yeah, easy 10. Right here, it's kind of balanced, so I would probably just run a dive. And as you guys can see, yeah, easy 10 yards. This is dollar, so against dollar, I like to dive more. And I would just audible down. So when you audible down, you can quick hike this right away. As soon as the linebacker sets, he's going to call hike. So I would just quick hike dive there. And then you guys could also do something like this. So like, let's just say they put everyone on the right side of the field. You guys can just go like this and flip your formation. And the only thing I'm going to tell you guys is if you do flip the formation, make sure you always flip the dive to the right. So you guys can see that the strong eye pro is very, very effective as a run formation, especially this year, because all the good pass defenses has all the players on the line of scrimmage. And now I'm going to be showing you guys another formation that I like versus all these pass defenses. And once again, we're going to start off. I'm going to show you guys against 1-4-6. Then I'm going to show you guys against dollar. Then I'm going to show you guys against 3-4 show blitz and 3-4 not show blitz because those are the most popular defenses this year. And so against 1-4-6 and 3-4 show blitz, this is my favorite run play out of all of them. And the reason being is because it's an RPO. So technically, well, usually I like to just keep this dive. And I usually, if you're 1-4-6, I'm just going to audible down to the dive and run it every single play until I get you out of 1-4-6. Because 1-4-6 is the best pass defense this year. So you don't want to have to play the whole game where you have to play against it because you can mix up the coverage really well and it just looks super scary like that. So I'm going to show you guys just the dive completely, well, like it completely just like fucks up the 1-4-6. There are like 2 guys flash at it, but usually that's not going to happen. Audible down again. And another thing you can do is if, let's start saying they do this, and they stand over here, you can just start throwing that bubble and getting a one-on-one with the outside cornerback if he somehow launches to the receiver. So again, I'm going to show you guys this a few more times. Against 1-4-6 or 3-4 show blitz, I would suggest audible down to this dive every single play until they get out of it. And it's hard to do it with two controllers, so my stick is really, really bad, but I'm just going to show you guys, like if I don't run into that offensive lineman, it's close to a touchdown. Just, I run through this gap right here, and I don't run into that guy. The only player that can make a tackle is the safety 15 yards down the field, so I'm going to get at least 10 yards. I was playing NKG maybe 2 days ago running this. The first drive, he ran 1-4-6, and I literally ran 8 dives for 68 yards and a touchdown. And then he texted me and said, I thought this stopped the run. I said, not this one, fool. So against 1-4-6, I would audible down to this a lot. If they do something like this, which is a cover 0, versus cover 0, I love this stretch out of the same formation. The reason being is because they're going to bring this guy all the way down here to stop the bubble. And then they're going to bring this guy to the middle to stop the dive. And what that's going to do, it's going to let you run stretch to the outside. Show you guys this one more time. So against cover 0, it's an easy color versus cover 0 because the safeties come down to the box. So like As you guys can see, the safeties are closer to the line of scrimmage. Against this look, I would always audible down to the stretch. And the reason being is because the safety is all the way over there to stop the bubble. So against honestly, 146 should be a defense you really don't want to have to play against. It's the reason why I like high flex. It's the reason why I like this playbook. This playbook, this offense. It's because I don't want to have to play against 146. That defense is really, really hard to play against, especially if you're playing a good player who makes up his coverages behind it. Now we're going to show you one place I like against Dollar out of that same formation. And against Dollar, I just like the dive because most people aren't really going to run cover zero out of Dollar because the cover zero isn't too good. So I would audible down to just the dive. Especially if they give you this type of look where they move that linebacker to the outside to stop the bubble. And as you guys can see, getting an easy 5-10 yards every time I run the ball against Dollar or 146. So like this look right here, this is what people would normally do, is they would have to man this guy up. So it would look like this. And then they're going to use this safety. As you guys can see, the run is just like gaping hose against all these pass defenses. Now let me show you against 3-4. So against 3-4 show blitz, I would prefer running either the strong eye off tackle or the dive with the motion, or the RPO stretch. I don't think the dive is too good against 3-4 show blitz. I'm not sure why they shed more than it does against the 146, even though it's the same alignment, just with I guess it's because 3-4 has more linebackers. So just gonna show you guys the dive. The dive gets kind of clustered, and I don't like running the dive too much against it. You could have some success against it, but as you see, that left end comes free in 3-4, and there's really not much you can do about it. But if you run 3-4 show blitz, then you have absolutely no chance at stopping the stretch, and you're usually just gonna get a one-on-one with the safety if they ever have a chance to make the tackle. So this is what normally going to look like. As you guys can see, I have another free touchdown. I just again have no stick because I'm using 2 controllers. But let me show you guys the replay. So this is what it's going to look like. This fullback just picks up the outside cornerback, and if I just go outside, or if that guy doesn't shed, I have a free easy touchdown. So let me show you guys this again. We're going to run this stretch. And as you guys can see, if you have a running back with jukebox, or you have armbar, or you have evasive, or you have spin cycle, that DB is always going to have a one-on-one to make that tackle. And it's not a matchup you want, especially not in this game with how effective armbar is. And also another thing you could always do out of this stretch is so for them to basically try to contain it, they would have to super overplay the stretch. And the way that they're going to do that is by using this DB, right? So they want more people on the right side of the field. So if they do this, you can just throw the RPO the RPO bubble, and as you guys can see, it's an easy touchdown. So now I'm going to show you guys what I would do out of the I-form twins versus just random plays, depending on the look that the computer gives me. Again, I'm going to do the same thing I did in Strong Eye Pro, and I'm just going to do it out of versus 5 plays. And again, you always want to come out in the split close Miami, because this year it shows what formation you're coming out in. So if you come out in, let's say I-form, they're probably going to come out in more run defense. And technically against this formation, it has so many dots, you can't come out in run defense because you're just going to give up all the wide open routes that this formation has. So again, we're going to audible down to the dive. So against this look, there's more people on the right side of the field, so it would probably stop the stretch. So I would run a dive, and as you guys can see, I get easy 5 yards. Versus this look, so this is just 3-4 no-show blitz, and I guess after these 5 videos, I'll show you guys what I do versus 3-4 no-show blitz, because I did show it against the I-form. Against the strong eye. And so this is cover 0. As you guys, the reason why you can tell this is either cover 0 or 2-man under is because that outside cornerback followed my slot receiver. So at first I was gonna run the halfback dive because the linebackers aren't in the box, so that left linebacker wouldn't shoot the gap. But since I know it's man, I'm gonna audible to the stretch. And as you guys can see, I get a one-on-one again. And a one-on-one in this game is not what you want because these running backs are OP. And then so now versus this look, again, this is man. The reason why you can tell is of the because the guy followed. Against this look, I honestly don't really like this look, so I would probably audible to maybe something like this, and I would try running a dive, or you can just run an off tackle flipped because you see how like that player stays there. So now you have the numbers. So definitely for this formation, what you have to do is you have to audible around a lot, especially when you get certain looks versus certain formations. Like I definitely didn't like any of the looks that I had in the I-form stretch. So in this one, I love the I-form dive. Probably gonna get a good amount of yards on it, and as you can tell, I get an easy 10. I'll show you guys this one more time versus whatever play the computer picks. And again, it's a easy dive look. You don't want to run stretch versus these because you just want to get the easy 5 to 10 yards. And as you guys can tell, well, the offensive line for the Patriots isn't too good. So this offense is going to be better in mud, especially because I'm going to break down plays that are like with route chems and without route chems. So if you're playing salary cap, you can choose whether you want route chems or whether you don't. And let me show you guys now this versus just 3-4, the other popular formation. I mean, the other popular setup that people use, which is just not show blitz, just spread line and pinch linebackers. So this is usually the look. And against this look, I like the dive. So, but what they're gonna have to do is if they use this guy, you always want to throw the bubble. So if they do like something like this, I like the dive and the stretch. You can kind of choose between whichever one you want at that situation, depending how the defense is playing, like which one they're, containing better. But let me show you guys that, as you guys saw when I ran show blitz, the left end, this guy right here, right? This guy came free. If you don't show blitz, he doesn't come free. So it's the linebacker. If the linebacker comes free, it doesn't matter because for some reason he's just never going to make the play. You're just going to be able to outrun him every time. So if they have a defense where the end comes free, that's when I don't want to run dive. That's when I want to run stretch. Versus this kind of formation, you can run either or, the stretch or the dive, depending where the defense is, where they're staying. Sorry again, guys, my batteries somehow keep dying. Just got new batteries too. So like against this look, you can throw the bubble, or if you can throw the bubble, or if they're using this guy, you can also do a stretch. And if that guy doesn't shed, I'm gonna have a lot of yards again. The halfback blast, I don't really run too much unless you have maybe with the Cowboys this is decent because it activates Zeke's inside zone guru. So you could run this occasionally, and here I did get really good blocking. I would run halfback blast against defenses that are not show blitz because the run is very slow developing. So any run that has a like show blitz type look is usually going to hit it in the backfield. So just show you guys a quick, like you see usually they're going to shed, and even there I scored a touchdown. So you could mix in halfback blast a little bit. I typically like to either run the halfback dive, the RPO dive, or the RPO stretch. And then one more run play that I like, and it's kind of just good against everything, but it's also kind of bad sometimes. So it's more of a home run type of run. So I'm just gonna show you guys this in a random play. It's I wouldn't audible down, like I wouldn't prefer audibling down to this over the dive or the off tackle from strong eye, or the dive or the stretch from strong slot. But like maybe before half, this is definitely the run play you want to run, and it's gonna be called 95 Willie, and you get a lot of open field. So it's basically like a hit or miss. There's high risk, high reward. You can crib it, but you can also get hit in the backfield by a random block shed. And the way you want to do it is you actually want to leave that tight end there, and you want to run it away from him. And usually you could get a lot of yards, but you could also lose 3 yards. So in a game of Madden 20 where sacks or losing yards is just so big, I would rather just audible to the run plays that I know are going to get me yards, and it's going to be hard to blow them up, and it's also going to get the defense out of the passing formations. So again, show you guys once again. This is a beast mode's favorite run play, and the reason being is because you see something like this, and people are generally going to put more people to the right side of the field than the left side of the field. So it's a good little mix up. You can also audible down to the halfback ISO out of this is really good. We're gonna treat it the same way as the strong eye pro, and we're gonna motion this guy. If anything, any kind of defense that shows blitz, if it's not a show blitz type defense, then we're just gonna run it. And you could also mix in the halfback blast. So there's a ton of good I form runs in this playbook. What I would do is maybe go into the formations and just find out which run plays are your favorite, and definitely start learning what kind, what looks you want versus certain formations. And the most important thing is, again, I can't stress this enough. If you see 1-4-6, I would run the ball out of I form slot dive every single play until they get out of it. If you see dollar, make them get out of these pass defenses, because it's the reason why you want to run this playbook. Alright boys, now I'm going to be breaking down the shotgun bunch formation, and this is only going to be with route chems. I would only suggest people to run this with route chems, and the plays that we're going to be using are really just corner strike, because we're going to corner strike and verticals, because we're going to be making all of our own plays. So first thing what I want to show you guys is I want to show you guys how to make a buck sail out of any bunch formation. So what you first want to do is you want to have, so like let's say you want to run buck sail, you want to have the post going from left to right. So you want to have the buck sail going to the long side. What you're going to do is you're going to come out and bunch flipped. You're going to put your outside receiver and you're going to put him on a post. And then when you flip it, he's on this kind of post. So if I don't do that, the receiver would go on this kind of post, and that's not what you want. So again, we're going to put the outside receiver on a post. We're going to flip it. We're going to max pro, and now we have buck sail from last year. So now we have buck sail from last year. What we're going to do is we're going to motion this guy out, and don't you look at that, buck sail from last year. I put my guy in a crosser there instead of a streak on accident, which is why that guy made up. So let me show you guys that one more time. So again, this is what the play is going to look like. We're going to motion this guy out, and we literally have buck sail from last year in the same shotgun formation. I know a lot of you guys were asking us to break down West Coast, so I'm going to kind of break down how you could run West Coast out of basically any playbook if you have route chems in salary cap or MUT, especially in MUT if you're using Kurt Warner and you have Route Master. So that's going to be the first play that we're going to break down. The second play is going to be corner strike with no route chems, and that's going to be against cover 2 or cover 3. The way that you want to run this play is you want to just streak. You just want to streak the slot, and you want to just call hike. So this cloud doesn't do nothing. Gets the corner gets wide open against cover 2 and cover 3. Let me show you guys this real quick against cover 3. Show you guys against cover 3 that you can just throw this to the. I actually had a touchdown, but you could throw that against cover 3. Another thing that you can do out of corner strike. So again, we're running all our plays out of corner strike. We can run this play, which is basically like stick, and you can run this play to the long side or the short side. So this is how last year everybody ran stick, which was with the post. I'm going to show you guys that now flip to show you guys that it is effective to both sides of the field. And the reason why I'm telling you guys to just come out in corner strike is because the corner strike flat route is really good, and you can cancel the drop back right away with your quarterback. And the way you're going to do that is just hit the left stick when they call hike. So this is going to be another really good setup. And this play, again, you can run to both sides of the field. I would just put this kind of drag, or you can just flip it and set it up like this. Let me show you guys now how we're gonna run verticals. So verticals, we're gonna streak the tight end. We're gonna post route RB, and we're gonna drag X, and then we're gonna motion this guy out. And as you guys can see, still the vertical still gets wide open. So it's basically all these plays that I'm showing you is literally the exact same way that everyone ran all these plays last year. Now we're gonna show you guys how to run buck sail. Actually, no. So let me show you guys now how we're gonna run mesh post. So this is gonna be a very, very good play, especially for people who like to blitz a lot of defenders because you're gonna be able to throw the ball quickly. So we're gonna put the play called mesh spot, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna flat route A, and we're gonna post route B, and then we're gonna manually drag RB. And what we're gonna do again is remember, whenever you want to this post, you kind of want it to set, and there you go. You have mesh post from last year because you had the same running back wheel route. Now that's how I would run that play to the long side. To the short side, you can just out route this receiver, and you can do this, which is literally how everyone ran. How do I put a comeback? Oh, I gotta put an out route. This is what it's gonna look like, and this is how everyone ran mesh post last year. And it's the same concept that I broke down in the two back with that little running back wheel route that cuts up right up the middle of the field. So let me show you guys this again. This is how we're gonna set it up. Out route, we're gonna HRB, we're gonna flat route A, and then again, any of these posts outside, I like to motion them outside, and we can hit the post right there. I'll show you guys a replay. To show you guys everything that's open. And all these plays, these plays all work against cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. So let me just show you guys that against cover 2, that was cover 3. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm in the right play. We're gonna run cover 2. So all these plays that I'm showing you guys are going to work against cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. You just have to make the right read, and as you guys can see, that post is wide open. So the plays that I would run are going to be, once again, this play. This play is basically going to be our mesh post, and then verticals is going to be verticals, and then we're going to run corner strike as buck sail and as stick from last year. See if there's any other plays that I like in this. Does this playbook have the corner? No, they do not. The one more play that you could run if you wanted to is you can run, do they have Z-spot? They do not have Z-spot, so we're going to make our own play. This is the other play that I would run. And if you guys watched Skimbo play last year, this is something Skimbo did a lot in his run to make the Final Four. So again, what we're going to do is we want the box sail post to the left. So we're going to come out a bunch, flip, and then we're going to flip it back, and this is what we're going to do. This is what our setup is going to look like, and this is also going to be good against match. I'm going to show you guys this against match because I know you guys are going to want to have to play against match, since a lot of these guys do have my ebook. As you guys can see, I was against cover 2, and I got open. So let me show you guys if you play against match, that will get open, in case you do want to run this and what. So that same exact play that I just wrote down, that's going to be one of our good match plays. And the reason being is we're going to use a concept that people used last year. This is what we're going to do. Same exact play setup. The only difference we're going to do is we want that guy. Hold on, let me make sure that I show you guys this. If you motion that guy to the outside, it's going to let the corner out get open because it's going to man up. The outside receiver is going to man up to it. So if you were on defense, what you would want to do is you would want to cover for that guy. But this is going to be one of the really good plays in its match. And all we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the buck sail post is on the left. We're going to hot route our own corner out, and then we're going to motion this guy on the streak, and we're going to let him set. And what happens is that the right safety mans up to the corner instead of the outside corner, and that's why that's going to be effective. So just a quick rundown. Now I'm going to show you guys all the plays that we're gonna run, and we're gonna basically run into the short side and the long side of the field. And I'm just gonna do them against random play. So we'll start off with corner strike, and we'll start off with last year's thick, which is gonna look like this. And this play, you can run to either side of the field. So that was to the short side. Now we're gonna flip it. And this play is gonna be effective to, again, both sides of the field. You guys can see, post wide open. So that's gonna be one setup. We're gonna run corner strike, just as is, like this. And we're gonna run this play only to the short side of the field. And as you guys can see, just take your check down because the corner was guarded. Show you guys that one more time. To the short side of the field. So here we're just gonna throw that. Now we're gonna show you guys verticals. Verticals is always gonna be to the long side of the field. If they're running a lot of man, I would leave that table, the running back route, because the running back route does beat man really well. If they're not, then I would just block them and set them up like this. We're gonna motion like this guy, and if they're cover zero, as they were, that wheel route is gonna completely destroy man. And the right post is also gonna completely destroy man. So again, this is another play that's gonna work against every coverage. So this looks like it's gonna be 2 men under again. This is what the play is gonna look like. I'm not gonna throw the wheel route if it is man, to show you guys that the RB guy also beats man, as you guys can see. That route also destroys man. Now we're gonna run the play that Skimbo used to run a lot last year, which is gonna be the buck sail post with the backside corner route and the backside streak. So this is what it's gonna look like. What I did was I flipped my formation to make sure that that posted on that side, and then once I flip back, I put the RB guy in a flat and in the corner, and I'm gonna streak RB. And as you guys can see, here I have the flat route in the corner route wide open, and I also had the buck sail post coming open. Now we're gonna run buck sail, and the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna flip, and then we're gonna audible back. Now this play, you can run to either side of the field. I would prefer running it to the long side of the field, but it is effective to both sides of the field. So if you're playing somebody really good who you have to mix up what plays you're running to the short side of the field, this is another play you can run to the short side of the field. So the way you would do this is you would just post D. You would flip your formation. You want a max pro, and then make it look like this. And as you guys can see, it's literally buck sail from last year, which was unguardable, and it's unguardable once again. And then the last play that we're going to be breaking down is basically a play that I like to call mesh post if we have route chems. And this play we can run to either side of the field. We're gonna once again pick random play. So if you want to run this play to the long side of the field, I would suggest running it like this. We're gonna flat route A, so we're gonna drag our B, and we're gonna motion this guy out to the right as if it's mesh post. And then you can just kind of make the read. As you guys can see, the post there was wide open. You can also set up this play like this, which is like mesh post from last year. The reason why this play is really good is because that post, as you guys can see, one cooks man, but the drag on the left also beats man better than a regular drag. And then another way that we're gonna run this play is you can either flat route, well, we're gonna flip the formation, we're gonna out route the outside receiver. We're gonna hitch B, we're gonna flat route the tight end, and then we're gonna post the receiver, and we're gonna motion him out. And you guys can see the hitch is open, the backside post was about to be open, and you could have took your check down. So basically I just gave you guys a way to where you can run West Coast bunch out of essentially any bunch that has this play, which luckily Miami has it. So hopefully you guys like this ebook. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. You guys know my DMs are always open. If you guys want to just comment here, if you guys want a Discord link, let me know. I'll make sure that we post it under the chat. Under the comment section if you guys ask for it. Hopefully you guys like this offensive ebook. And again, if you have any questions, then please let me know. Alright, boys, the last formation that we're going to be breaking down out of this playbook is going to be the wide trips. And honestly, that's only going to be 3 plays, but it's going to complement our shotgun bunch scheme with rock chems. And what we're going to do is we're first going to show you that it has decent run plays. So if you play against a lot of dollar or 146, you can audible down to wide trips and run the ball quite effectively. So if anyone's having really good pass defense out of shotgun, you can always audible down and just see what look you get. The audibles that I like for this are going to be stretch alert, halfback dive weak, and I like to play receiver. I mean just curls. We're just gonna let's just say like something against like dollar, something like this, which is what you're gonna get a lot against if you run a lot of a bunch. So it's going to be very simple. We're going to run dive, or we're going to run the stretch. The dive, you want a playmaker to the right, and as you guys can see, you guys all know dives are really, really good this year. So you'll be able to audible down, run that dive. You can also run this stretch. The stretch is actually really good if the blocker blocks. And just wanted to show you guys one pass play out of this. So this is what we're going to do. This is the play that I like. The only difference we're going to make is we're going to leave those 2 curls, and we're going to put RB on the post. And this is just in case anyone just like when you audible down, just blitzes everyone. Just show you guys why I like this play. The reason why we're putting this play in our audibles is because they already have 2 curls on the outside. So we're gonna out route the tight end. We're gonna post RB. And you'll be able to either throw the curls low ball to the outside, or you'll be able to throw that post or that quick out route. But essentially what we want to do when we go to wide trips is essentially just run the ball and only have one decent pass play in case that you want to just mix it up. One more thing you can do out of this curls play is if you run it to the short side, you're going to do the same setup. The only difference you're going to do is you're going to wheel route your running back, and you're going to out route the outside receiver. And what it's going to be able to do is you're going to be able to throw this route right up the middle. And as you guys know, I love to compliment these running back wheel routes for running back, because me personally, I hate playing against people who utilize the running back. So this is just something I would mix in occasionally, especially if you have a good running back. I'm sure you guys have Mark Allen, you want to get him off a little bit. These are the 2 run plays that I would down to. And this is going to conclude my Miami offensive ebook. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully you guys start doing a really good job with it. If you guys have any other questions, you guys already know where to reach me. You can comment below in the comments, or you can just message me on Twitter at Joe with 4 E's and _. And hopefully you guys again like this ebook, and thank you guys all for the support. Alright boys, I'm going to be breaking down my goal line scheme in any playbook, and this is going to be great because you're going to be able to use this in draft champions, in case any of you guys play draft champions. So what we're going to do is I like to come out in goal line, and the plays that I like to run are power roll, fullback dive, halfback dive, and halfback stick. What we're going to do is for the fullback dive, you want to make sure that you always run it to the side your quarterback's on. So if my quarterback's righty, I'm going to come out with the goal line regularly. I'm going to flip it. And if you guys don't follow T-Dips on YouTube, make sure you guys hit him with a follow on YouTube, because he did break this down on YouTube. So we're going to flip the formation. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip the formation again, and we're going to playmaker to dive to the right, and then we're going to call hike as he gets over the line of scrimmage, over the center. And what that's going to do is it's basically going to give you a fullback wham. Last year, if you played the game, you guys will know what I was talking about. Halfback wham was really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it, and then I'm going to flip it back. And as he's flipping, I'm going to playmaker to run to the right, and then I'm going to call hike as he's right over the center. And what it's going to do is going to give me a lead blocker on fullback dive. This is what I do on basically any fourth and inches, 4th and 1. This is almost unstoppable, to be honest. And then you could also do this out of halfback dive. So again, you're going to flip your formation, and then you're going to flip it back, and you're going to call hike as he gets right over the center. And usually that guy is going to lead. He's going to act as a lead blocker. And then what you could also do is you can come out in halfback dive, you can flip it, and you can playmaker to run right away. and you can call hike before he goes to the opposite line of scrimmage. So like before he actually flips. So a lot of people, what they're gonna try to do is they're gonna try to time this. So you can basically call hike whenever you think they're not gonna be able to time it. And as you guys can see, I'm getting basically a lead blocker on halfback dive in goal line, which is really effective, and it's really hard to stop. Show you guys this. As you guys can see, number 81 goes to pick up a block at the safety. And let me just show you guys this against goal line. Against goal line, I really do like the fullback dive the same way I mentioned it. I was just showing you guys that against random plays. You guys can see what it does versus different plays. So against goal line, just gonna pick any goal line, and we're gonna flip it. Let me just do what most people do is they do this. We're gonna flip back on the fullback dive. We're gonna playmaker to the right, and I like to call hike when he's right here. And as you guys can see, usually that guy doesn't shed, even though I got 1 yard. That fullback does go. I mean, not the fullback. The tight end does go block. Anyone who shoots through the gap. As you guys can see, he goes and makes that block. Now, if I was to just motion, it wouldn't be nearly as good. I'm gonna try to show you guys. Like, hold on. You see, it doesn't even let me motion him, so that's why you have to use the flip technique. And as you guys can see there, I was able to score. And you can also do this out of power O. And so like versus this look, I would run power O and I would flip it, and then I would call hike when he gets over here. And as you guys can see, against goal line, I had an easy touchdown. Because as you guys can tell by this look, you can tell there's less players on the left side of the field than there is on the right side of the field. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna run power O, you're just gonna flip it. And once you flip it, you can call hike whenever you want. So I was just showing you guys here that you can call hike whenever you want. What I would do is I would wait for that player, the blocker, to get kind of closer to the left side of the field so he can be used as a lead blocker to the left side of the field. So I would call hike right around here. And as you guys can see, if I don't get shedded, I have a free touchdown. So now I'm going to show you guys this against just random plays. And honestly, I do this as soon as I get within inside the 10. I do just go to goal line because I haven't seen anyone stop these runs yet. So until somebody shows me that they can stop it, this is my red zone offense. And I've been having a ton of success with it. So against this, like, you can just flip halfback dive, motioning to the right, call hike, and as you guys can see, I get perfect blocking and I get an easy 4 yards. Another red zone offense that I like out of this playbook is going to be a slot, and we're always going to want to run this to the long side of the field. And the reason being is because we want to have that RPO. What I like to do is I like to come out in the stretch alert, which is an RPO basically. So if they give me this look, since there's not many people on the right side of the field, I'm just going to run a dive to the right. The computer there unfortunately stopped it. But here again, I'm just going to run a dive to the right. I actually ran the wrong play. I thought I was running a dive. So against this look especially, it's going to be easy touchdown on dive because the guys at the line of scrimmage. But I'm going to show you guys what happens if like somebody base lines, or if they, well, against this you would still have to, I would just run this to the right. Basically what I do is I like to have the stretch goes to the left of the RPO. So you have to kind of guard both sides of the field. You can do this, and then you can hit it with the RPO. So this is another good formation for red zone. And then the last formation that I would use in the red zone, I'm going to show you guys a quick little dot out of it too, is this right here, which is going to be ace close. And I really like to stretch. Then I'm going to show you guys one more thing that I like to do out of this. We're just going to run random play to show you guys that the stretch is really good. You guys, I'm sure already know that stretch is one of the best runs in the game this year, and it's really good to either side. But here we're going to run to the left, and if I don't have terrible stick, I'm going to score. But I wanted to show you guys that there is a good pass play in this, and it's going to be called Y seam. And what I like to do is we're going to do this setup right here. First, I want to show you guys this corner route. It's a sharp corner route, so you can throw this in the back of the end zone against almost any coverage. And you can run this to either side if you want to flip it. Just make sure that if you're going to run this pass play, you want to make sure that the corner route is always going to the short side of the field. So we're going to hitch, we're gonna flat route A and we're gonna whip route B. And what we're gonna do is basically you're gonna be able to throw this in between the zones because that flat route is gonna pull down any zones. Or we're gonna be able to throw this hitch or this corner out. So like right here, I can low ball that corner. Low ball the hitch, or I could throw the corner against some situations. Here I'm just gonna run a stretch. I actually thought it was in the pass play. So like against this, you'll just be able to throw a corner out. So, and a lot of the times too is nobody's really gonna expect you to pass out of this. So like against this, I want to run a stretch left, and if that guy doesn't shred it, to be a touchdown. So for red zone purposes, within the 5, honestly, I just run goal line until they show you they can stop it. Excuse me. But if you play anybody who doesn't have really good red zone D, you can come out in this I form close, and then if they give you a good look for that, you can audible to the I form slot. And the only plays I like out of the I form slot, honestly, are the stretch alert bubble and the dive. I've been having a ton of success just by running those few plays whenever I whenever I get in the red zone. So if you guys have any other questions about that, then just let me know. What's up, boys? It's your boy Joke, back at you guys with the gun split close Miami out of my Miami offensive ebook. And today I want to be showing you guys a different few ways of running a few different plays that I didn't previously break down in the ebook. This is just something I started to run maybe I think the day after I released the ebook. So first, what we want to do is we want to have our slot receiver being somebody in if you're playing all Madden, which is regs, draft champions, salary cap, we want to have somebody with at least 85 deep and 85 mid. If you guys are playing ultimate team, just weekend league, you guys want to have somebody with 90 deep and 90 mid. The reason being is that MUT and weekend league and all that kind of stuff is played on All Pro, and the thresholds are higher on All Pro, which doesn't make sense, but on All Madden they're only 85. So just for this short little video, we're gonna just show you guys with DeAndre Hopkins. The first play I want to break down is PAF slide, and I'm going to show you guys this against cover 2 and against cover 3. The setup that we're going to do is we're going to streak B, which is our solo side receiver. We're going to drag X. If you're playing against somebody who's running a lot of coverage, we're going to wheel route this running back. If you're playing against somebody who's sending a lot of pressure, we're going to just block the running back. Just for this instance, the reason why we want to wheel route the running back sometimes is because it's going to pull down the zones and it's going to get the drag open for more yards. What we're going to do is then we're going to motion the slot receiver to the right, and as you guys can see, DeAndre Hopkins is going to get wide open up versus cover 2. Show you guys this one more time. Again, the play is going to be called PAF slide. The setup is going to either look like this or like this. To show you guys both, to show you guys that it works no matter what you do. Motion this guy. Also, when you motion, you want to motion the corner route past the receiver on the solo side. And the reason why we're going to do this is because this is going to be very, very good against man. Just show you guys a quick tip, like a quick little reason why. Just want to show you guys what motion drags do. When you motion this guy to the right, it doesn't matter who you put, he's going to beat the guy by about 5 yards, and it's probably going to be the best way to beat somebody who just runs cover 1, which is kind of the meta in MUT. So you definitely want to utilize that motion a lot. And if you guys want to use more of this scheme, these are the audibles I would set. It's a little bit different than the audibles I previously stated in my ebook, but these are the 4 main plays that we're going to use utilizing this motion. So showed you guys that play against cover 2. Now let me show you guys what happens against cover 3. And the setup is going to remain the same, which is the best thing. You always want your cover 2 and your cover 3 beaters to be the same setup, because you don't want to have to guess what coverage your opponent is in. You just want to have a play that beats both. And here we go. That was an easy bomb. Now we're gonna, that was with the deep blue on the right. Now we're gonna flip our cover 3 so it looks like this. And we're going to run again the same exact play setup. This time I'm going to block the running back. So to show you guys, you don't need a wheel route to get this open at all. Again, same motion. And I have the worst offensive line in regs, which is the Texans. So it's going to be fun to try to show you guys bombs when I have to basically try to get enough time to throw a bomb with the worst offensive line in Madden. So again, show you guys this play setup. We're going to motion this guy out. And what's going to happen is wide open. And I'm going to show you guys the reason why. The reason is because the cover 3 on the right side goes to guard the corner route that we motion over, leaving the whole right side of the field wide open. Also for this, you always want to run the 2 back to the short side. Basically what that means is you want to have the 2 receivers going to the short side. So if you're on the left hash, you want your 2 receivers of the split close to the left side. If you're on the right side, you want them on the right side. And let me show you guys why this happens. So this is the outside corner. Usually if this corner route's not here, he's going to go back and guard this whole side of the field, but he mans up to this corner route, and then it gives us the whole right side of the field to throw an easy touchdown to. So that's my favorite play setup out of the PA slide. Now let me show you this play right here, this corner route that's highlighted in red, being ran by Hopkins. When you motion it over, it's going to be turned into a post, and basically what it is buck sale. So we can do a play setup like this, where we just motion him over. Again, you want to call hike after he passes the guy. We can throw this quick drag. That's wide open, but again, we have a great O-line. So for these videos, I'm going to actually go ahead and spy the one of those guys. So we're going to spy this guy right here. And again, let me show you guys the play. So for this play, you can either flat route and wheel route the running back. You can streak, in route, or hitch, X, or you can just max pro and drag. So the only thing that's going to stay the same in this play is that you always want to motion this guy past the receiver, and as you guys can see, that route gets wide open versus cover 3. Let me show you guys that play versus cover 2. And again, let me spy this linebacker so the worst O-line in the game doesn't get super shredded. This is what the play setup is going to look like. And as you guys can see, once again, Hopkins is wide open. Let me show you guys that play now against cover 4. Show you guys this now against cover 4. Just for this play setup, I'll just show you guys this to show you guys that you can throw that little running back. You guys, if you guys follow me, you guys know I love that. I guess against cover 4, it's probably going to be a little better to have a drag to suck down the purple. So against cover 4, I would suggest to not put this running back wheel and do more of that versus cover 2. So we're just going to keep this simple. You could do something like this, or you can just max pro. It's probably better to max pro, especially this year, because you guys do know the sheds are crazy. But as you can see, once again, the post is wide open. Now we're going to break down the play. It's going to be called receiver corner. Basically what this play is going to do, this play is just going to attack both sides of the field really well. So the way you want to read this is if they have cloud flats, you want to either throw this check down to the drag that we're going to motion right, or you want to throw the wheel route. If they have hard flats, then you want to throw to the corners. And then if the defense just makes a great play and it has a hard flat and a cloud flat, and then a cloud flat and users the other short route, you want to just throw the ball away or try to scramble with the quarterback. So here we played just cover 2. So against cover 2, I'm going to have that little quick drag or the running back wheel. Then if they play cover 2 hard flats, I'm going to be able to throw the corner outs. And this is a great mix-in for what we're running because again it attacks both sidelines of the field, and a lot of these plays kind of attack the middle of the field. And as you guys can see, I could hit either corner. That left corner gets open, and so does this right corner. You guys can see he's also wide open. Now let me show you guys that against cover 3 and then against cover 4. So this is going to be against cover 4 hard flats. Again, the play is going to be like this. We're going to motion him to the right. And basically what we want to do when you're trying to create a scheme, right? What you want to do is you want to make a set of plays all look the same. This is a poker term that a lot of people use, and in poker it's called balancing your range. And what it means is basically it's having good cards that you could have in certain situations, but also having bad cards. So let's just say I had one unstoppable play where I motioned Hopkins, and every time I motioned Hopkins, it was that one unstoppable play. So what the defense is going to do, they're going to go and try to use your guard to unstoppable play. So when you do plays that have different route concepts using the same motion, it confuses the defense, and that's what starts getting other plays open. So let's say you guys like one play more than the other in this this little scheme I'm showing you guys. You don't want to spam it, because if you run one play too often, the defense is going to start adjusting to it, and every time you motion, they're going to know what play is coming. So make sure you guys mix up your play calling. So that was against cover 3 hard flat and cover 3 clouds. As I showed you guys, I hit a drag, I hit a corner, and then the same thing's going to happen against cover 4. So the first I'll run cover 4 hard flats, and then I'll run cover 4 clouds. So this is going to be, again, you always want to have the bunch on the short side. I mean, not the bunch, the 2-back, I'm sorry. And this is what the play setup is going to look like. You're going to motion them past the receiver. And again, I had both corners open. Let me just show you. That was against cover 4 hard flats. You guys just have to kind of make the high-low read. Usually the way I look at this is the first thing I do on this play is I look to see what the right side of the field is in. If I see a hard flat, then I already know that I'm going to have that corner open or this drag. And then if they have a hard flat, cloud flat, and a user, then I try to look over here. So the way I would read it is look to the right side first, which is why we threw that. But as you guys can see, not only was that open, but you could have threw this over the linebacker, or you even could have threw the drag. And then now we're going to run cover 4 with clouds. And again, we want to make sure that the 2-back is always on the short side. Then we're going to motion him past the receiver. And we can throw the wheel route, we can throw the drag, and even sometimes we can throw the sharp corner to the right. And then the last play that I like out of this is my favorite play. The way we're going to set this up, first we're going to run it against cover 2. You don't need a pull route for this for this crosser against cover 2 or cover 3. So if you're playing against somebody who's running a lot of cover 2 and cover 3, you can do something like this and just motion Hopkins to the right. I'll show you guys that the crosser is still going to get open. It's open, but again, I have a terrible line, so let me show you guys this just by rushing 3. Let me flip my formation. So the two setups I would normally, the main setup I would normally use, if you guys just want to use a setup that's going to work against every coverage, I would just streak X and drag A, because that's going to get open against cover 4, because what it's going to do is it's going to pull the zones. You guys can see the crosser gets wide open, and we also had the underneath drag. So that was against cover 2. Now I'll run it against cover 3. If it lets me, there we go. And again, I would just suggest you guys could also, so if you're playing somebody who
runs a lot of coverage, you could put this running back on a wheel route for the sole intention of just getting this drag more yards. But a lot of people blitz a lot in this game, so I would probably just max pro and motion Hopkins to the right. We're going to have one quick read, which is going to be that short little drag, or we're just going to throw that, which that's against cover 3. And then let me show you guys now against cover 4. Now against cover 4, same play setup, motion Hopkins to the right, and we're going to get the same exact results, the unguardable crosser. So again, this is there's definitely plays in this little different type of motioning scheme that I love, especially being PAF slide. The reason being was because there was the only corner route that really got open versus cover 2 was halfback wheel, and I don't really like that corner route. So cover 2 would kind of slow that offense down, and it wouldn't let you attack the sidelines too well. So I decided I had to go back into practice mode and figure out some new dots to especially combat cover 2. And it's going to be this play right here because it gets over cover 2 really, really fast, and it also bombs cover 3. And then not only that, it also gives you more plays for the defense that, the defense has to adjust to more plays when you're on the short side of the field. And then the main thing is that if you just ran any play, you can just do something like this. For instance, if you motion the slot receiver on a drag, he's going to beat the man guarding him by close to 5 yards every time. So it's basically going to give you one route that the defense basically has to user guard because of that motion. So let me show you guys that against like dollar, just so you guys can see how effective that motion is and how much it beats man. So a popular defense people run are cover 1 out of the dollar formation, which is going to be right here. And we're just going to run something like this, which is just a max pro drag, and just see what happens. And as you guys can see, Hopkins somehow ran into a route and it was still wide open. So let me show you guys a different play so I don't run into a play action. We'll just run something like this. The deep corner is also going to get open against man, but as you guys can see, once again, the drag's open for an easy 5. So this is definitely something I've been beginning to utilize a lot, and I suggest you guys to do the same. For many reasons. The main reason being was that a lot of people were manning up the solo side receiver and basically just trying to take away one side of the field. So now that I can motion this guy on a corner route, you can't really just man up the solo side receiver and have no zone to the right, because if you do, then I'm going to have easy touchdowns. And as you guys can see, that's also another route that beats man. So let's just say they run cover 1 like this. If you can do something like this, and you can either put X on in route if you think that beats man better, or drag. I prefer drag. You can just motion hike it and throw this right off the cut, and that's also going to beat man really, really well. So that's another good man play that you guys can have. And then Z spot's also going to beat man. So you can do something like this, which is just going to be max pro, and this route's also going to beat man. So as you guys can see, this gives you much more ways to beat man, and it also gives away people the option to run the cover 2 man hybrid, the cover 2 zone hybrid, which is basically manning up one side of the field and having cover 2 on the other opposite side of the field. So yeah, again, this is something I really, really love, and I think you guys should utilize it a lot. It's definitely going to make the offense a lot better. And if you guys are playing MUT, again, you guys want to have 90 deep route running and 90 mid. If you guys are playing a salary cap, draft champions, or regs, you only need 85. I would suggest for this offense to basically have the threshold at all 50 positions, so they can just beat man zone better for every route. So personally, that's what I would advise. But if you guys wanted to tank in a slot, it definitely should be the slot receiver. So hopefully you guys like this. If you guys have any more questions, just leave below in the comments, and I'll make sure I answer you guys.